Alright guys, back again, and I've got 5 movies I'm going to talk about that I watched recently, as well as some TV shows that I've watched. So let's get started. First off, the first movie I watched since my last video on stuff I've been watching is Demonic Toys Personal Demons, which is Demonic Toys 2. I don't know why it's not called Demonic Toys 2 instead of Personal Demons. Like, I thought that was just it's a title, I guess, but I thought, like, at least there's only 2 of them. If there were more Demonic Toy movies, I would have been confused. And I know there's those Versus movies that the Demonic Toys are in, but I'm not counting those. I'm talking about, like, just Demonic Toys. And Demonic Toys 2, I watched maybe, like, 4 or 5 days ago. And honest to God, I remember nothing about it. It was this group of people goes into this abandoned, like, or not abandoned, this, like, museum, like, that they're taking artifacts from, and there are the demonic toys in there, of course, and the demonic toys, of course, wake up and start killing people and start wrecking havoc, and Baby Daisy says a lot of cuss words, and it's so weird watching this one compared to the first Demonic Toys, which I think is fun. I didn't love the first Demonic Toys, but I think that it's a way more interesting movie than this is. This one was just honestly super boring and unfunny and unentertaining. Like, I didn't really find much entertainment with this one at all. It is just one of those full moon movies that is... It's weird because Full Moon, whenever they are cheesy and can be entertaining, they work pretty well. But this one just didn't work. And like I said, the first Demonic Toys I thought was entertaining enough. I thought it was pretty good. In terms of just being dumb entertainment. Like, I thought it was fun. But this one I really didn't like. I thought it was pretty bad and pretty unfunny and not good. So sorry, Full Moon, but Demonic Toys was a no for me, dog. The next movie I watched with a friend was the Autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman, which is not a horror movie. It is a movie, well, I guess you could call it a horror movie, but it is a movie about a real-life woman, Jane Pittman, who was a former slave who lived through both World Wars, 1 and 2, and died at 110 years old. I think it was 110 or 108, one of the two. And this movie just recounts her life and recounts her being born into slavery, her living through this world and reality and seeing that she's one of the influencers that changed how slavery was changing and how they were getting rid of it, but she was one of those factors. And I really, really thought this was a really, really well-acted movie. It's, of course, sad and tragic. It's, of course, hard to watch. But it has a lot of sincerity and a lot of sweetness to it, too, which I really like. Because usually these movies that involve racism are just typically, like, they're not very fun to watch. But this one, even though it has those bad parts in it, I did think that this character really was very charming and very interesting and funny, and she was just a very cool person to hear the life story about. And I don't know the actress's name. She passed away last year or the year before, but she did a great job, and she's also wearing full-on makeup where, like, she looks really, really old, because of course she's supposed to be a 110-year-old lady, this actress, but really good. Really great TV movie from the 70s. I think it was the 70s. I don't remember which year, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Then I watched Planet of the Vampires, which I bought the physical release from MGM Midnight Movies, and I have it over there on the shelf, and I'm not going to grab it. But I bought the physical release recently, and I didn't realize before I watched it that this was a Mario Bava film, and I was glad and surprised that it was a Mario Bava film, because usually Mario Bava, the only thing I've seen of his is, like, his giallos, so I didn't know that this was part of his thing, or part of his filmography. And Planet of the Vampires is about, this plot sounds very similar to Alien and Invasion of the Body Snatchers, by the way, but a group of people land on a planet, and then there is a force that takes over people, and they become different beings. And I thought that it was solid enough as a movie, but, like, it wasn't a movie that I genuinely, like, enjoyed that much. Like, I thought it had some okay things about it, but but it was just one of those movies that was not that entertaining to me personally. It did have some good and gorgeous effects, and I do like seeing a different type of Mario Bava movie because his giallos, like Blood and Black Lace, for example, like really look beautiful with the colors, and this movie does that too with the color detail and like the cinematography, and that stuff is good. It's just the story is just, and the characters are just kind of boring, which is unfortunate. And maybe some people don't think that way about it, but that's just how I felt personally watching it. So it's a shame that I didn't love it. I liked it. I thought it was totally serviceable, but like it wasn't anything that I'll really rewatch again. But I'm glad I saw it for his filmography. And it was a surprise that he was the director. I didn't even know before I bought it, seriously. So Planet of the Vampires I thought was fun. It was very similar to Alien and Invasion of the Body Snatchers in terms of those plots, but it was entertaining. And I'm trying to remember, Alien didn't come out yet. Invasion of the Body Snatchers might have came out. I don't remember when this came out. I think it was in the 60s. I think it was 1960, maybe. I honestly don't know. I'm just guessing now, but this one had very similar plots to those, and maybe they used elements from this movie, like Alien and Invasion of the Body Snatchers, because they feel very similar, and this kind of movie feels very similar to those. But overall, I enjoyed Planet of the Vampires all right. It wasn't amazing, but it was fine. Next up, movie number 4 is a new released movie. Cheaper by the Dozen 2022, which Disney announced that they were going to do another Cheaper by the Dozen because they bought the rights to Fox. And Cheaper by the Dozen, the ones with Steve Martin and Bonnie Hunt from the 2000s, 2003 and 2005, both of those movies I grew up with and I'm nostalgic for, and I enjoyed those and thought they were fun because I was a kid whenever they came out. I have not seen the 1950s Cheaper by the Dozen, but I know of its existence, but I have not seen that one. I might see it one day. I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, it's not like the other two, the Cheaper by the Dozens that I mentioned with Steve Martin and Bonnie Hunt. Like those are the ones I only knew because I was nostalgic for them because I watched them as a kid. And of course, this was coming out, and it's of course a reboot, digging into the nostalgia of something that had been popular in the 2000s. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought this one was pretty lame, this new Cheaper by the Dozen. It's got some good actors in it. It's got Zach Braff and Gabrielle Union, which I like both of them. I think they're both good and stuff, but this movie just feels very hollow. Like you could say that about the other ones, the Steve Martin ones too, but like those I at least were nostalgic for. But this one, watching it, it really felt like there were some moments of sincerity in it, but it really felt like a product. It really felt like just we're making an obligated remake, but we're going to make it modern. We're going to have a mixed family, which I liked. I thought that was a cool way to differentiate itself from the original 1950s movie and the Steve Martin ones, because they're all white people in those. I'm assuming in the 1950s ones, I think it's all white people as well. But that is something that I did appreciate, like aesthetically, like making it different like that. But really, it didn't do much besides saying that it was a mixed family. Like, really, there's no big reason for that besides like just to make it stand out to the other ones. The jokes really aren't that funny. It's just one of those movies that it's so weird watching it because it's definitely just a product. It's definitely just not very interesting, not very fun. Yeah, it would just kind of, I wasn't ashamed that I didn't like it, or I mean, I wasn't annoyed that I didn't like it because I kind of expected not to. Like, Disney has been doing those Disney Plus movies where they did like Home Sweet Home Alone, which I didn't like that much either. I think I liked that more than this, to be honest. But I didn't like that one much either. But so it's not like I was expecting this to be great or interesting, but it's just a typical like reboot with a modern twist to it. but it just feels hollow. Like it's not anything that's very special or interesting at all. And even if I don't feel this way as an adult, there are some kids that are going to love this movie. There are some kids that are going to grow up with this, and this will be their nostalgic movie, and that's awesome because I was nostalgic for the other two ones from the 2000s. So that's great. But I just, as an adult now, I'm not. This is not very interesting, not very good for me personally. Then the last movie I watched was Rest Stop, Don't Look Back, which is the second Rest Stop movie where it is a sequel to the first Rest Stop, and the first Rest Stop is about a couple that encounter, at a rest stop, they encounter this crazy psycho and he chases them, and then this one is the people trying to find the sister from the last one, and then they encounter psychos again. And this one is, it's weird because the first one is nothing like special, but I really liked it for its thrilling moments. Like I thought it was intense, and I thought it was pretty solid in just the suspense department. Like I thought that the first Rest Stop, which I think I was on the last video I did of these movies I watched, I thought that one was really good and really liked the first Rest Stop, and I thought Jamie Alexander was good, and I thought it had some good moments of suspense. And then this one is just really lame. It's pretty much the same movie again, but way worse acted, way less interesting, way less fun. It's trying to be over the top, but it just doesn't do anything for me. It didn't make me laugh or be entertained by it. I just thought that the sequel was a pretty diminishing sequel. Like there was nothing really special about it at all. And also, Jamie Alexander did not return to be Nicole again, the main character from the first movie. She did not return. Another actress takes her place. And this actress is unfortunately pretty bad in this movie. And I don't know what else she's been in. Maybe she's been great in other stuff, but I just feel bad in this one. I did not like her performance. There's a lot of annoying characters where they weren't fun or entertaining. Because there's sometimes in horror movies where the characters can be annoying, but I do like them or get entertained by them, and this wasn't the case. None of the characters were entertaining. They were all cardboard characters. Which, like I said, I'm being hypocritical because most of these horror movies are cardboard characters anyways, but they didn't bring anything entertaining to me. And this one just was not entertaining. It's just like how Demonic Toys 2 was for me. Like that one was just pretty run-of-the-mill, bad and not interesting at all movie. So this is exactly the same thing. I like this one better than Demonic Toys 2, but this one is still pretty bad, Rest Stop 2. I didn't hate watching it, but it's not one I want to watch again. The first Rest Stop I liked a lot, and this one I just did not like that much. And before I go, I also want to talk about some TV shows I've been watching. So I started up Community again, which I've not mentioned on this channel, but Community is a show I watched a little bit, and then I thought it wasn't that funny, but then I'm watching it more, and I'm thinking, it's getting really funny now. I think it really had to start gaining steam, because at first I was like, this is just okay. It's not super funny, but I think, and I'm only in the first season, but I'm getting even more humor out of it as it's gone along, and it's got a great cast to it, Community. And I really I'm digging it, and I just started watching a couple episodes today. I think it's pretty fun. I've been watching the rest of the Goosebumps TV series on Netflix. And I watched 3 episodes that I want to talk about. The Haunted Mask 1 and 2 and Night at Terror Tower. The Haunted Mask is arguably the most famous Goosebumps story, about a girl named Carly Beth who gets this mask that looks human, and she puts it on, and then it gets stuck to her skin and it won't come off, and she becomes this angry person. And I really dug it, and I've seen it before, because again, with this watch of these Goosebumps episodes, there's some I've seen, there's some I haven't, but I really dug this episode. I thought it was really fun and entertaining, and I thought it was creepy. Even though it's got some hokey effects with the mask flying around in the air, but that makes part of its charm. But The Haunted Mask 2, I liked as well, which is about Steve, which is a guy who bullied Carly Beth, and now he gets another mask that's an old man mask, and he puts it on and he won't come off, and he becomes old and like can't like do anything fast. Like he gets, and I did like that. I thought that was a cool way to differentiate the two different masks from both of the episodes. But the Haunted Mask 2 I liked a lot as well. And Night at Terror Tower is one that I always remember the artwork for on the book, where it was the guy with the axe like in a tower, and I thought it was pretty creepy looking. And the artwork for the Goosebumps books from the 90s are scary and creepy, and that's a good poster or a good artwork for the book. And I forgot that this episode was really weird because it's not really about that. It's about like these kids that are from another point in time, but like they lose their memory, and it's like it's a weird twist. I didn't expect it to be that. I thought it would have been a run-of-the-mill, like they're being chased by a monster in this tower and they can't get out kind of thing. And then it turns into a time travel memory loss thing. And I was like, what? Like, it's interesting with the Goosebumps, like, episodes and books where some of them look like they're going to be one thing and then they really do differentiate and change into something else. And this episode really did that. So I like that. I thought that was fun. But I'm definitely going to watch more Goosebumps episodes. I do enjoy them so far. I do want to finish them up. The only other TV show I want to mention, I watched a lot of TV shows lately, but the only other one that comes to mind is Johnny Bravo, which is a Cartoon Network show that I watched as a kid, but never watched all the way through. I have disc 1 of season 1. There's only one season available on DVD, but I got it in a 4-pack of other Cartoon Network cartoons. It's like a Cartoon Network 4-pack of like, say, Ed, Edd n Eddy, Billy and Mandy, and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends kind of stuff. Like all those Cartoon Networks together. And like there's only one disc in that set for Johnny Bravo, and it's disc 1 of disc 2 of season 1. So season 1, I watched half of, and I really, really loved it. I was genuinely surprised at how funny Johnny Bravo is, and it still holds up very well. Johnny Bravo, of course, is about this arrogant guy who talks like Elvis, and he goes around and hits on every woman he can, and he's sexist, and then he gets hit in the face all the time, or tased, or punched, because he's an idiot. And it's funny, and it's really genuinely just a hilarious show. And I really dig it. And I kind of was on a Cartoon Network kick because I just watched Courage the Cowardly Dog all the way through, all 4 seasons, which I loved. It's a great series, and I watched some episodes as a kid, and they traumatized me as a kid. But man, watching Courage the Cowardly Dog as an adult, it's great. It's still awesome and scary. But yeah, Johnny Bravo, I really am liking so far too. I wonder how I'm going to watch the rest of it, because they don't have any episodes on HBO Max. I'm assuming it's because of what Johnny Bravo is, but I don't know. But I will definitely try to watch the rest of Johnny Bravo, but I'm digging that show a lot. And I think I watched another episode of Dexter, of season 1. I'm kind of getting slow into that. But yeah, I think that's all the TV shows of note I've been watching. Marvel's Moon Knight comes out. As of this recording, when I'm recording it right now, it will be out tonight. And this video will not probably be out tonight, but it will be out sometime. So whenever you see this video, it's going to be after the fact, probably, that Moon Knight came out. But that I'm excited for, because I'm excited for all the Marvel stuff. Next week, I'm definitely watching Morbius, so that'll be on the next video. I also watched half of Death Becomes Her with Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn and Bruce Willis, which is really funny. But the disc that I had didn't work, so I went to buy the Scream Factory edition, so I will watch the rest of that soon. But yeah, definitely watch out for Morbius and Death Becomes Her. Those are definitely the ones that I'm going to watch soon, movie-wise, but they'll be on the next video for sure, whenever I do another video like this next week. So that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.